behalf of the entire family, I want to thank each of you for being here, for your love of Audree, and for your love and support of all of us at this time. Avi, who is my amazing brother-in-law, will share some wonderful things about Audree in a few minutes. But first, I'm going to get us started with some heartfelt thoughts, memories, and observations since joining this wonderful family in 1994. But first, I need to make you all aware of something. Audree and Bubby are the same person. It really depends on the story or the time frame in which the memory took place. I'll be referring to her by both names, so I didn't want anybody to be confused. As an only child, Audree was the center of her parents' universe. They were overly protective, and they spoiled her rotten. They were her caretakers. That torch and those responsibilities passed to Alan, as he took care of her starting after they got married when Audree was about 20. Alan never let Audree pump her own gas. Honestly, she had no clue how to do it. Each of the three kids had special bonds with Audree, but as the only daughter, Sherry's bond with her was unique. After Grandpa passed away, that responsibility, the responsibility of caretaker, fell to my share. And that responsibility was heavy, very heavy at times. And Sherry handled that job with grace, with amazing grace, for the past 8 years. Bubby was all about her treats. She was so easy to please. If Sherry was on her way over, Bubby would ask her to bring a cinnamon roll from Whataburger, a Krispy Kreme plain glazed donut, or a Blizzard from Dairy Queen. She was so easy to please with her treats, and they made her extra happy. Audree was feisty and would sometimes blurt a thought out before really thinking about it. Some might have referred to her as a loose cannon. Sherry and I had only been dating a couple of weeks when we decided it was time to introduce the parents to each other. We mostly already knew that we would be introducing Machatanum to Machatam. So we're all sitting there around my parents' kitchen table, and we're playing some board game. I don't remember what. Anyway, I jump her piece, or I take her piece. I don't recall exactly, and she looks at me and angrily says, "You little shit." I mean, I barely knew this woman. And my dad thought it was hilarious and fitting. That was Audree. Things you may or may not know about Bubby. She was the woman of valor at Temple Shalom in 1990, an esteemed honor there. She was a model. In her later years, she modeled for the Chico's fashion show at Parkview, which was the assisted living center that her and Alan retired to. At Parkview in Frisbee, that was in 2013. Bubby was awarded a feature spot in Expressions 2016 at the retirement center, of which there was 38 of them around the country. This was their award-winning calendar celebrating active aging and the arts. Bubby owned a month in the calendar. Bubby's jewelry was selected from hundreds of submissions by residents across these 38 locations nationwide for one of 13 feature spots in the 16th edition of this calendar. Quote, "We are thrilled to see Audree honored for her artistry," said the executive director. "Her jewelry making skills are representative of her wide range of creativity, and everyone around here is truly inspired by her." Each of the granddaughters and a grandson are honoring Bubby by wearing a piece of her amazing jewelry today. The time she spent with us was never quite enough. Do you have to leave already? Can't you stay a little longer? I think I need a light bulb change.
Yeah.
My DVR isn't working. Can you fix it? Anything for a little more time, even if it was a little white lie. It was the same way with her grandkids. As a FaceTime call was winding down, do you have to go already? Bubby's preference was always family. A New Year's Eve out? No. Family night at their house. Audree loved to throw parties at their house. And it wasn't the partaking of the enormous amount of incredible food. It was the group preparation and the presentation of that food. She was a professional cateress, after all. It was in this way that Bubby really loved to make others happy. So, Shiva is at our home tonight, as Avi said. This is the kind of party that Audree loved. Please come. And in honor of her life incredibly well lived, please eat. Eat a lot. It's what makes our Bubby happy.